Welcome to Starkville, Mississippi, affectionately referred to as Stark Vegas, where earplugs are highly recommended because the cowbells will be ringing. There's nothing quite like a great rivalry matchup in college football. The bitterness, the intensity, the lifetime of memories that will come as a result of what we're about to see in this one. As we'll see the #2 team in the country, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on a team looking for its first win, the Mississippi State Bulldogs. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. Mississippi State ready to kick off to get this game started. That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. So the Alabama Crimson Tide offense will take the field for the first possession of this game. And the adrenaline is pumping on overdrive in games like this, guys, and it's crucial to get your emotions under control.
No doubt. In rivalry games, you've got to limit the mental errors, and you've got to limit the penalties because those will kill you, Pop.
And you got to come out under control. It means so much. We know that. The fans are all talking about it, but it's just football.
These guys have really performed at a high level in SEC play, and the task is to try to keep this groove going.
Yeah, when you start the season like this, man, this is exactly what you drew up. Win your conference. Be great in your conference. Get to the conference championship. I'm not putting the cart before the horse, Palmer, but great start.
No doubt. To win the SEC is a long road. You know about that. I know about that personally. And they just got to take one game at a time.
And he breaks into the open. Running inside the 20. And he takes it all the way. They couldn't stop him. Touchdown, Bama! You want to talk about a great way to start the game and set the tone early.
It's so nice to have a quarterback just get himself into the game and get himself established. You make a couple throws, you lead your offense down the field, you score right off the bat. Could not have been a better start for that QB.
Lining up for the PAT. And the extra point makes it 7-0. What a display of explosive capabilities on that drive. 75 yards, 2 plays, and a touchdown. Kickoff team is on the field. They'll try to drive this one deep. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So Mississippi State's offense will try to get something started with their first possession. As we take a look at our impact players for this game, David, what do you look for to make an impact from your leaders?
Your leaders not only have to lead the football team, but they got to step up and make plays on the field, keep everybody calm. These guys typically do a really good job of it.
Yeah, David, and they also generally set the tone for their respective football teams. Regardless of which side of the ball they play on, the teammates look towards them to step up in big games like this.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Finds his way for 3 out to the 33. The biggest lie college football coaches tell is nameless, faceless opponent. David, game like this, you know their name and you know their face.
You know them well, and it does mean just a little bit more because it's bragging rights. Like, the rivalries matter so much all throughout the year. All the fans talking about this game in particular, that's why it means more, and that's why these players will be jacked out of their minds.
Well, in that down and distance, the quarterback's got to get rid of it so quickly, right? He knows the defense is going to be bearing down on him, so a nice job catching the gun snap and then turning and pivoting, getting it out of his hands quickly and accurately to pick up the first.
They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. After that last completion, it's 2nd down. He leaves it with his back. And they make the tackle, but he has plenty for the first down.
Well, I know this is an offensive line that has a ton of pride, and they want to come out each and every game and really impose their will on the D-line. They got just enough push there on that run play to pick up the first.
Got his man out of the backfield. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
I want to get my running backs the ball in space as much as possible, and sometimes it doesn't work in the running game, but I can throw it to them. I can try to create some space out wide, dump them the football, let them make some catches, and see if I can't get some big plays out of it.
Oh, looked upfield too soon and dropped the football, and it'll be third down.
And there's so much for a quarterback to think about. Stick it out in the belly. Do I pull it? Now when I pull it, I got to get my feet set, make an accurate throw to the right guy. So a lot of things going on, and I think that you saw that led to a little bit of inaccuracy.
Just had to get rid of that one to save the yardage on third down. So Mississippi State will have to punt this one away. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. And that is textbook instructional video. Out of bounds right around the goal line. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make, because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. He's running in the open. And it is a chunk play, a huge gain on that one before the defense brings it to an end.
And you see so many of these plays now in today's football. Wide receiver coming in motion, and the quarterback catches it, just flips it for him. That's a completed pass. You see the big plays where it just lets him get on the edge really, really quickly. And if he drops the football coming in motion, it's just an incomplete pass. So these plays are getting big plays with really no risk.
They were backed up in their own end. Now a bit of a change of sceneries there across the 35. 1st and 10 from the 36. And he found plenty of running room on that one before the defense was finally able to get him down.
Really good-looking run. You think about the legacy Alabama has at the running back position. It's ridiculous. Mark Ingram won a Heisman, obviously. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. I'm going to go back to Sean Alexander, who I played against back in the day, too. All these guys had speed. All these guys had vision and quickness. And this guy right here, he has all of those traits himself. Just another big-time talent in the Crimson Tide backfield.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Well, the offensive line had everybody blocked except the defensive end. He was able to sneak into the backfield and get the tackle for loss.
After losing a couple on that last play, here's 2nd and 12. Now the quarterback changing the original play call. Now adjusting. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
You know, as quarterbacks, you've got to be good in the pocket. Even when things are collapsing and you've got guys swiping at it, you've got to have 2 hands on the football. Didn't do a really good job with ball security there, and that led to the fumble.
Trying to find his man on first down. And that's a mistake you don't expect to see from a senior, and he is lucky to get it back.
Defense, we're always trying to get some tips. Break on the football, get a tip, get it up in the air. Nice job by the player breaking on the football and forcing the incompletion.
He's back to throw on 2nd down. Right on target this time. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
So Alabama takes the lead into the quarter break. We've put 1 in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the 2nd. Now facing a 3rd down as they come back to the line after the break. From the gun, wants to pass. Finds the tight end. Working their way closer and closer. A 3rd down conversion, and they've got it at the 26. And the Bulldogs come to the line with a new set of downs.
Well, they pick up the first against zone coverage. I think a big part of this for young quarterbacks out there is if you're going to be throwing into zone coverage, you got to throw on a ton. You can't stare down receivers because the entire defense has their eyes on you, so you can't telegraph where the ball is going. You've got to hold it to the very last possible second. Try to freeze defenders with your eyes and then throw the ball into open areas of the field, anticipating where your guy's going to be.
He showed it all there, a little elusiveness, a little power, and he's got the first down.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again, right? It's been really hard for this offense in this game to run the football, but they finally break off a big run there. That could be the play they need to really generate momentum and get this run game going.
Finds his big tight end. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down.
A nice job by the defense there tackling the catch and smothering the tight end. They know this offense is going to try to find him in the passing game in a lot of different situations. That time, perfect coverage, and nice job bringing the big guy down. Not easy to do.
Looking to throw on second down. He's got the back in the middle. And they wrap him up, but not before he's got enough for the first down.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. He did a nice job of it.
Now on first and goal, let's see what Mississippi State does. Pocket starts to collapse. And the freshman will chalk up a sack.
Just like to see the quarterback have a clock going off in his head, forcing him to get rid of that football. Can't take a sack on first down and goal-to-go situation and move your offense backwards.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. He's looking to throw. He caught it. Oh, and he thought he might be able to wiggle his way into the end zone, but they knock him down at the 3. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now it's third and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. Unleashes to the end zone. And he's got it! Touchdown, Mississippi State!
And what a nice start for this offense. The throw game getting working, getting the touchdown pass. This quarterback getting a little bit of confidence. This passing game getting in a rhythm. Nice start for this offense.
Getting set for the point after. Right down the boulevard. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Notre Dame is currently up big at this moment in what's shaping up to be a lopsided affair for the Golden Domers. They're up 14 over Colorado. He'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Sometimes people say, if you're good enough, what's the big deal about going on the road? Well, if you're not careful, you might find out in a spot like this one, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile environment, and you know you're going to be getting the opponent's A game for this one. They've circled this one all off season, so they better be ready to bring it today, David.
And the hardest thing to do in college football is to go on the road. Everything about it changes, and you want to shut this crowd up early. You don't want to give them belief, because if it starts to build throughout the game, look out.
I'll tell you, this defensive end, not only can he pass rush, but he can play the run as well. You see him beat the offensive lineman there trying to block him and get in the backfield and make that tackle for loss. That was impressive.
A third and long coming up here. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the wideout. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away.
Third and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, fourth down.
No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. Here comes the Mississippi State offense, ready to attack. How big is this drive? Scored a touchdown the last time they had it. Defense gets a stop, and now it's up to them in a tie game.
All right, so if you're the offensive coordinator here, let's dial it in. Who are your best matchups and best playmakers to take advantage of this golden opportunity?
Yeah, and I'm interested to see this defense, too. Like, the momentum is clearly not in your favor. How do you get it back? How do you make a big play? Do you be more aggressive here to try to get the football back to your offense?
That last completion sets him up on second down. To the ground with the back. And look, this guy has some serious moves, and he tried all of them and still didn't get loose. Guys, this rough start is hardly what they had in mind to start SEC play, and it's not going to get any easier.
Well, no doubt about it. There were big expectations surrounding this program inside SEC play this year, and things haven't necessarily gone their way. They've had to fight a ton of adversity, but, David, they believe they have the leadership in the locker room to turn it around, but it's got to start today.
Yeah, one at a time. Like, we got to start today. We got to find something. We got to find what we're really good at, what we can hang our hat on, so we can start to build some momentum throughout the season. Obviously, not the start we wanted, but we got to point to the next opportunity.
Mississippi State comes out after picking up the first down. He's looking to throw it. He finds his man. They make the stop, but the sweet throw and catch is plenty to give him a first down. Got to get everybody on the same page in a hurry. He's going to pass. Quickly complete. Really nice job there by both guys to throw and the catch to work that defense and get the first down.
Well, you haven't seen a lot of incompletions from this guy now in his last 2 games out. Completed over 70% of his throws last week. He's doing it again in this game. As a head coach, you got to love the fact that your quarterback is dialed in.
And he laid the lumber to stop him from getting the first down.
I'll say this, man. In college football, you see a lot of bad tackling. You didn't see it right there. That was an awesome job. First off, being there at the point of attack. Once the tight end made the catch, there was no doubt he was going down. Great job form tackling.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
Well, and a nice job working the middle of the field. I think it's so important to keep defenses honest, and you can't just dink and dunk outside. You got to work the middle. Great job finding this wide receiver over the middle of the field.
Down to the 26-yard line and a first down. It's complete to the left. He's run out of bounds, but not before turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down.
It's really nice to be a quarterback in today's football when running backs are basically wide receivers. Not only can you split them out, you keep them at running back, nothing open, I dump it to him. Look at that. He makes a big play for me.
They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. It's complete to the right. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. He wants to throw here on second down. Got out of trouble, got rid of it. It's complete. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Bulldogs trying to cash it in on first and goal.
Let's go.
Use the play fake, now to throw. And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12. Quick timeout from the offense to save precious seconds. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. He's looking to throw. Into the end zone. And he was trying to pay off this red zone opportunity, but it's incomplete.
How about the difference a week makes for this QB? Last week, man, the completion percentage way down. Just wasn't consistent, wasn't in good rhythm. Right now, looks like he's in total control, and this offense is moving at a way better pace. Looks like a completely different team from last week.
Needs to get it in the end zone on third and goal. He's got it on the move.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on you.
It's 4th down, and they'll try the field goal. Smashes it between the uprights. And with that, they've taken the lead. So they get the field goal, now about to kick it away, and you get a stop here, and you go to halftime feeling really good about things. From inside the 10, here he comes. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Receiver on the move gets the touch pass. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage. There's a timeout called as this offense tries to find a way to draw a little closer. Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. He's looking to throw. Dances away. He's going to run it. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play.
Well, great job there by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw the coverage in the back end. Nowhere for the quarterback to throw the football. Didn't get the sack, obviously. You don't get the negative play, but you also don't give up a big one. You're feeling pretty good about where you are right now in this drive.
Just enough time for one final play in this half. On 3rd and short, they'll try to throw for it. Trying to get to it. Defense was swarming around this quarterback, and he never had a chance to get it off. And down he goes, and we will head to halftime. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Fellas, what an environment there today. All the animosity and flat-out hatred that comes with a good old-fashioned rivalry game on display in that first half. And it's been said football is a game of inches. And guess what? Based on the comparison between 3rd down conversion rate today and the average yard per play, how can you argue that? I mean, the low-lying fruit is to look at some of the explosive plays we've seen and panic. But really, this game is going to come down to which team is more efficient when they have the ball and how they play when it matters most. That said, let's get back to the field and our guys in the booth to see who comes out on top of this rivalry contest.
All right, Kevin, about ready to get things cranked back up here. Ready to start the second half. Alabama will kick it off. He'll return it. That is a decision he will likely regret. He brings it out of the end. Down at the 10. Here comes the Bulldog offense back onto the field. They go to work in the 3rd quarter with the lead, but they have had a little trouble keeping their quarterback upright.
Yeah, and you have the lead, you're positive, but the offensive line coach is definitely going to be upset. And the offensive coordinator, listen, I don't want my guy getting touched. He's being productive, but give him some more time here in the second half.
I think you can do that, too, offensively, by maybe leaving your tight end in to help block, maybe chipping with running backs to help these tackles out on the edge, because you're right. That pocket has been shaky, and if it continues to be that way in the second half, this could be a much different looking football.
Not a lot of room there. Give him a couple to the 16.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team is being out-physicaled. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when they decide to run it.
In the gun and looking to throw on 3rd down. Got rid of it just in time. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to fight another play. Mississippi State will roll out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. He only needs a sliver of daylight. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. Okay, so here comes the offense returning to the field. The sledding has been tough. Scores have been at a premium, Jesse, and every possession seems like it could switch the momentum of the game.
Yeah, Reese, for this offense, just feels like they just haven't been as physical. And for this offensive coordinator, David, he's having to go deep into the playbook just to try to generate a first down.
Well, and the good thing is there's not a ton of game pressure because the other side's not scoring either. But if you can find that one thing get that one positive play, and then maybe you get those juices going and something can start to build.
On the run, it's Jordan. And you can forget running in the middle against this defense.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
They need the 40 to convert here on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Got it in the middle, it's Hutchinson. They've got it inside the 40 at the 39 as they pick up the first down.
And when you run those drag routes, it just takes a little bit of know-how. And when I say that, the receiver's got to understand, find space. My quarterback's going to find me. He's looking for that space at the same time. Nice throw, nice catch. Way to get the first down.
Alabama with a 1st and 10 here. The inside handoff. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. He's looking to throw. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
You can sense the frustration building on the field and on the sideline for this team because on paper, they're the better team. From a player standpoint, from a record standpoint, things just not going their way in this game, and someone's going to have to step up and make a play to turn this thing around.
Quarterback changing the plays at the line. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Fires into traffic, it's picked off. Takes it the other way. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Well, the offense turns it over, and talking to their coaching staff before this game, they talked about how important it was to have good ball security and not give the opponent extra possessions. That time, poor decision by the quarterback, and the defense made them pay.
Grabs it in the middle. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be 2nd and just a few breaths away from the first down. And they'll come to the line just needing a few chain links for a first down. From the gun, the ground game. And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-game land.
And this brings up a 3rd down and identical situation, right? Like, do I want to be physical? Do I want to run the football? Do I maybe want to take a shot? It's always interesting. These situations in football always come down to aggressiveness. How aggressive do you want to be? Because, Palmer, you kind of know what kind of coverage you're going to get.
Yeah, and I think for this running back, too, knowing him, he's just super competitive. He's going to want an opportunity to get another crack at this right now and really sort of get himself lathered up into the rhythm of this game. I give him an...
And that pressure just engulfed him. A sack for this defense. When you play at a place like Alabama, you have to live up to the legacy of the Jonathan Allens, the Daron Paynes, the Marcel Dariuses when you play on that defensive front.
And the funny thing is, Reese, I can keep going. Quinnen Williams, Will Anderson, like the list goes on and on and on. Just elite level recruiting on the defensive line, on the edge, is how they built this dynasty at Alabama.
Now trying to keep this drive alive on 3rd and long from the 45. From the gun, wants to pass. Didn't have much of a choice, just had to throw that one away. It'll be 4th down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. So Mississippi State will have to punt this one away. A high kick trying to pin them deep. And the punt team able to sling him to the ground. Here comes that Alabama offense. And in a low-scoring game like this one, David, every possession is magnified.
And I think more than anything, it just gets frustrating. And you got to put that behind you. You got to see what this defense has been doing to be so successful. Palmer, now use it against them.
Yeah, David, I think for a play caller, this is tough, right? It's like you have to have the perfect play on just to get a first down. In these types of games, I think you're just trying to get guys out in space, see if a dude can break a tackle. Maybe that generates an explosive play, and it breaks this trend.
And the freshman does a great job using his technique and getting the man on the ground. And talk about spreading the ball around. Everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Got a man. It's Hutchinson. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there and still a little ground to cover to pick up the 1st.
And quarterback dropping back, understanding I'm getting zone coverage. All I got to do is be a little bit patient, manipulate that defense a little bit. My wide receiver runs that drag, and I get the 1st down.
It would be nice to pick up a few yards on 3rd down because from here, it's a 57-yard attempt. They'll run play action. They're trying to get to it. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on.
This is a no-brainer right now. After that incompletion, trailing by what you are in this area of the field, 4th and short, just kick the field goal. It's what you need to give yourself a chance to win.
Down a possession here in the 4th, and they'll need to convert on this 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. This time he's got his man. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that 4th down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra mustard on it, and he shows you the arm talent on the throw.
They want to just keep throwing it. Gets it out quickly. At the 20, he's got space. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. They move on top here in the 4th.
Yeah, and a nice job in the 4th quarter making plays, and a nice job being on the same page. QB, receiver. You could tell he broke with the football. He caught it in stride, gets into the end zone. Nice pitch and catch right there. Nice chemistry by the QB and wide receiver.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is good, and every point counts. It's now a 4-point lead in the 4th. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, want to update you on a game that went final moments ago. Oregon delivered maybe its most thorough thumping in years in a game that featured a ton of big plays, not unlike the way Michael James, Kenyon Barner, and Jonathan Stewart used to do it. 60 minutes of football and a convincing outcome, and certainly a game with implications far beyond just the standings, fellas.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. They shut it down quickly, but he gets 2 out to the 18.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground. Take away that run game. Make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
On 2nd down, wants to throw. Wide open downfield. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker.
This offense has their work cut out for them, man, because the coverage has been so tight. And if you're not throwing to the sideline or you're not getting past the sticks, this defense is going to tackle you inbounds like they just did on that last play and bleed the clock.
The pressure, the intensity is palpable. A huge play right here on 3rd and 2. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. He'll have the first down as he gets it to the 28-yard line before he's stopped.
And I just love when guys know exactly where the sticks are. You could tell ran with purpose, finished through the sticks, and got just enough for the first down.
And a nice job up front, too, right? Good communication. Everybody knew where they had to go, hat on a hat, work the double teams, and get some push.
Good job to toss that ball out of bounds and avoid the loss.
One of the things I love about this kid is that he goes to work. He struggled his last game out, completed less than 50% of his throws. So back to the drawing board, back to fundamentals, and you can see that paying dividends in this game. I know he just threw an incompletion, but for the most part, this guy has been spot on.
Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. Mississippi State really efficient on offense right now. They'll throw it on first down. They're bringing heat. And the quarterback is snowed under. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They'll snap it from the 25 here on 2nd and long. He's looking to throw. And they can't make the connection, and it could get worse. A penalty flag on the field, and it's in the holding zone. Let's get the call. Holding penalties, the ultimate drive killer. We'll see if it costs this offense here. Second down coming up. He's looking to throw. This time it's complete. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
Great job by the offense, being patient, understanding when they're in zone coverage, I got to hit those tight windows, make those precise passes to get those big plays.
Fires to the right. Complete downfield. Found a bunch of room and got it to the 44-yard line.
And that right there might be the play that they look back on if they end up winning this game as the key play in the game. In a 2-minute situation trailing, you're just trying to get a completion to get the momentum going, but they come up with a huge explosive play, and that might be the one that wins the game.
Looking to go up top on first down. And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete.
Late in the game, they've got the lead. They know the opponent's going to throw the football to all areas of the field. That time in the middle, he was right there, almost came away with that interception.
Really need positive yards on second down. After the incompletion, they'll snap it from the 44. He wants to throw it again. He misses his man. The accuracy just not what it needed to be on that play.
Well, I know it hasn't been a tremendous day statistically for this quarterback, but his decision-making has been good enough to win this game. Hasn't thrown a lot of TDs so far, but when things aren't open, he throws it away like on that play right there. He's not putting his team in a bad spot, and that's why they still have a shot to walk out of here with a W.
They immediately call timeout, trying to preserve every second they can to try to rally here late.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on third down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Unloads to the wideout. Fires a bullet. Now it's picked off. Bringing it back. The 40. At the 20. Touchdown tie. A great return for the touchdown. Any return for a touchdown is a great one to a defense. That lead a little more comfortable now as they close in on extending this winning streak. Just one moment and all of a sudden the fortunes turn.
you're in a position where you're about to give up points, and now you flip that around and you put points on the board. Perfectly executed. What do you do in an interception? First guy blocks the intended receiver. Everybody else starts to form a wall where the ball's going. Nice blocking, nice interception, nice return for the touchdown.
And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. The Mississippi State offense headed back to the field to go to work. This possession will be a test after squandering that long drive, throwing a pick six, Jesse.
You're right, Reese. Well, I think this is really dependent, too, on the leaders in this huddle right now to step up and help this offense get back on pace here on this drive.
Yeah, and this defense is frothing at the mouth. They're excited. They're jacked up. They just made a big play. They got all the momentum, so they're ready to hunt.
They'll line up for a second down play. After the incompletion, back to the passing game.
And the defense loves being in this type of situation, right? You've got a big lead. It's in the fourth quarter. You know the opponent's going to be throwing the football, so you get your best pass rushers coming off the edge, using that speed, dipping and ripping, getting to the quarterback for another big play.
And this defense is going to have its ears pinned back on 3rd and long from the 1. Just a bit of a misfire there as they can't make the connection.
After that incompletion, 4th and long now on your own side of the field, you're trailing in the fourth quarter. What's your go-to play call here in the passing game? Where is the matchup that you trust in to come up with a big one to give yourself a chance to stay alive and win this game?
Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the fourth quarter. They'll go for it on 4th down. A deep throw as the clock winds down. Into double coverage, and they made him pay. It's intercepted. Going the other way, and he's got room. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
And that's a really good job by the defense, understanding the situation of football. It's 4th down. It's late in the game. You got a multi-possession lead. Take away all the deep stuff. Make them force the football into coverage. They do, and they stamp this game.
The Tide offense rolls onto the field. And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Now on 2nd down, and we'll probably see another run, and that might do it if they can get a first down. They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. They'd love to pick up this 3rd down and get a fresh set with 1st and goal. Looking to throw on 3rd. Using the quick game. Defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the first down, and they'll have it 1st and goal at the 6.
He has been the go-to guy on offense all game long. And on a critical 3rd down here in the fourth quarter, surprise, surprise, guess who they go to that day?
And while the game is all but decided, why not try to get another one if you can? That's part of the fun, right? He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line. If they can move that thing 1 yard here, that'll probably wrap this baby up. They go right back to this guy on 2nd and goal. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. The offense uses a timeout, 20 ticks remaining.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on 2nd down, this little 3rd to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
Corralled and brought down by the defense.
How confident are you pounding the football? You get in this situation, 3rd down, you were very unsuccessful. It's 4th down, it's short. What's the play I know I can go to get this 4th down and get this touchdown?
Timeout is called with just a single second left. And after this play, the cake will be baked. They want to throw it. He wants it all. Incomplete on 4th down, and man, did they need to keep that drive alive. No matter how much college football changes, realignment, all of that kind of stuff, rivalries are consistent, and winning rivalry games, well, that's just the best.
Because they hate each other so much. So you take the field against your rival. You're able to put forth a performance like that. That is worth its weight in gold, David. Unbelievable effort here by the winning team, and bragging rights now for a while.
Bragging rights for a while. It's a fun thing to be able to accomplish. Now we also got to take in the next couple games, because this is always, there's a letdown that naturally happens after these big rivalry wins. We feel like our chest is poked out. We got to look on to the next game, focus in on this next one.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast team, I'm Reese Davis. This has been another